Hey guys, Kaylee Jane here with Cedar Winds Farm. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on my goats. I'm actually walking out in the pasture right now to try to locate them. And actually I'm so happy about this because last year, because I lost Josie and she was kind of the confident one that always led the herd, and they got really timid and weren't too thrilled about going out on the land by themselves. And the fact that I can walk out in this pasture, which is very overgrown, and they were kind of scared to get in this brush last year, and I had to sort of lead them in and encourage them to eat. The fact that I now can't find my goats makes me extremely happy. I think I can hear them though, so I'm gonna go see if I can figure out where they are. Alright, so it looks like Bridger was in the pond. I'm going to take this rope off dude. He took off earlier. I've been working on leash training him. Hi! He was so excited to patrol that he just took off without waiting for me to take his rope off. So I wanted to come back out here once you weren't so focused. Ooh, that's soaked. He's doing super well with the goats. He's been staying with him out here in the pastures by himself for probably almost a month now. I've just been bringing him out here and he's been staying in. These are 2- and 3-strand electric fences that he's staying in, and he's just been sticking right with them, haven't you? Unless you go to paddle in the pond because you're hot. Yes, I understand that. So yeah, he's just awesome. The only problem I've had with him, well, he's still not completely solid on my chickens, so he does like to chase them sometimes. I got to watch out for that. And he barks at people, which is a natural guard dog thing to do, but I think he is sort of annoying some of the family members that live close. So I need to keep working on that, just teaching him like, hey, this is an appropriate thing to bark at, and this person's not actually a problem, and you shouldn't bark at them. But I think we're doing good. I'm very, very happy with him. He's such a good boy. And I wanted to show you my, goodness, show you my girls. So they're due in right about 2 weeks. And you can see they look pretty rough. They're losing their winter hair. Here's Butte. Got a nice little udder starting up there. And then we got Cleo over here. And she has been looking like she's ready to give birth for like well over a month now. She's got loose ligaments in the whole 9 yards. So I don't think she's going to go much over her due date. And you can see she's forming a really nice little udder. So I'll have some kids available soon. And I will be taking reservations for them as soon as they are born. So if you're interested, let me know. These are going to be amazing, solid dairy goats. They're going to be so good. And they'll be ready for their homes in July. I also am going to be selling Sunday. She is probably the best dairy goat I own at this point. I just don't have enough pasture space, especially with as dry as it was last year, and it looks like we're going to be in for another drought this year unless we get a whole lot more rain than we've got so far. So I've just got to really watch my pastures, and I can't keep extra goats around. So I think I want to focus more on the Nubian and the Nubian crosses, just because I feel like they are a little bit better fit for what I want to do here. But Sunday is an amazing mom. She's got a beautiful udder, easy to milk. She has perfect stand banners. She produced about 1.5 gallons a day last year as a first freshener, and I had kept her on extended lactation. So she is, I'm currently just milking her once a day. I took her down to once a day milking once she was not producing at her peak anymore. And she's still giving me between 1/2 and 3/4 gallon a day. So she's a rock star milk goat. So Sunday is not going to go cheap by any means. She is just a phenomenal dairy goat, and she needs to go to somebody who has experience managing high production dairy goats. She's not going to be one that you can just throw out in a pasture and milk whenever you feel like it. She's going to need consistent milking, and she's going to have to be fed well to be able to stay healthy. But yeah, if you have experience managing high production goats and you want one that's already well started and has great manners and has been managed for good production and good udder capacity and all the good things, let me know, because I think she could be a really good fit. She does have scurs, as you can see. I didn't do a good job dispudding her because she was one of my first alpines that I ever dispudded, and I did not realize how different they were than Nubians. So she does okay with my dispudded goats. I mean, you can see she's not like hassling them or anything. She is bossy with them, but she's never hurt anybody. She would do best with a horned herd, and I'm really not in a huge hurry to sell her because, like I said, she is an amazing goat. But yeah, I've just been analyzing my pasture situation and just realizing I think I may still have too many goats for my pasture capacity if it stays as dry as it is right now. She doesn't take the heat as well as my Nubians do. And she actually gives a decent amount of cream in her milk, but it's just not quite as creamy as my Nubians. And I think part of that could be feeding. So yeah, I think if you could afford to feed her a little bit more alfalfa and things, you probably would end up with some creamier milk. I was just drinking her milk this morning. It's fine. It tastes good. There's nothing wrong with it. My milk customers just really love that heavy cream that you get from the Nubians, and Sunday's just not quite going to do that. That's just not what you're cut out for, is it, lady? Nope. But yeah, so she's kind of casually up for grabs. I think my highest priority with all my goats, but especially Sunday, you know, is I want her to go to a really good home, which will be appreciated, and she'll be able to achieve her full potential, because I put a lot into her and I know how amazing she can be. I sold her mom a little over a year ago, and I actually became friends with the gal who bought her mom from me, and her mother produced 2 gallons a day this past year as a third freshener. And so I know Sunday has the genetics to probably meet or exceed her mother's milk production. So I think she really has a lot of potential, and I would love to see her meet that potential. So I worked on some leash training with Bridger today. Because I moved to get to this pasture, I have to move the goats down the road, and he's good about following, but he doesn't, you know, necessarily follow really close. So I put him on a leash today, and it actually went decently well. Hi, Bridge. That's very polite. Thank you. When he doesn't understand something, he just freezes. So he would just kind of stall out and sit there and look at me like, I don't know exactly what you think you're doing here, but this is dumb. And so then I would have to stop and wait for him to process it. And then he would come to me and I would praise him, and then we'd walk a ways further, and then he'd stall out again. But I think he's starting to get the idea, and he's definitely I feel like he's a pretty quick learner. So hopefully I'll get him leash trained. And anyway, he processes things so differently from my other dogs. I've had herding type dogs before, and it's just a completely different behavior. I mean, they're still all dogs, but you know, they are different. And so it's been interesting learning kind of how his brain works and how he processes reality, and just seeing the fact that he really does, like, for him, his reward most of the time is being with the livestock. Like, that's what he wants to do. He wants to hang out with his goats and with his cows. And so you know, trying to find ways of training that incorporate being with the animals as the reward for good behavior. And so, like leash training, I was leash training him with the animals, and we were all moving together as a group, so I felt like that made it a lot easier for him to understand, like, okay, I have this rope attached to me, but you know, we're moving, we're staying with the goats, and my release is actually getting up and following my herd instead of sitting here stalled out. So it's just been kind of fun figuring out how to make those sorts of things work. Just got some happy goats out here doing happy goat things. That makes me happy. It's nice to see some green. It is still pretty dry, but this pasture hasn't had livestock on it too much, so it's still got a good bit of green. And yeah, praying for more rain. Love to get several more inches of rain, but I know I haven't been posting real regularly, so it is possible that the next video you see will be baby goats. I'm getting kind of excited about it. I've been really sort of relaxed about this whole upcoming kidding season because they're both second fresheners, and not that second fresheners kidding isn't exciting. It definitely is, but it's not the level of excitement of a first freshener. So it just kind of snuck up on me, honestly, that we were getting really close. And then yesterday I was looking at the calendar and I thought, oh my goodness, actually my goats could be kidding in like less than 2 weeks. So yeah, that'll be so exciting, and really looking forward to these kids. I think they're going to be good ones. So thanks for watching, guys, and